Good evening and welcome to tonight's regional news. We now start with a rather sad story from Jamaica. A father cradling his 1-year-old daughter in his arms was not enough to stop marauding thugs from spraying him with bullets in what police investigators believe was another reprisal attack playing out on the streets of Harborview, Jamaica. When gunfire ended, the young father, still clad in his work uniform, was dead, while his infant daughter was battling for life in hospital, according to police sources. Residents and police sources indicated that the young father never stood a chance against his killers, who waited for him several minutes inside a car that was parked along the Riverside Drive. Investigators believe the killing was a reprisal for an incident almost 2 weeks ago, in which gunmen invaded the party meters from last night's incident and opened fire at patrons, leaving 2 dead and 6 injured. The double murder was also a reprisal attack, police sources said. The Kingston East Police Division has seen a 17% spike in murders this year. Between January 1 and last Sunday, 1,273 people have been murdered across Jamaica, a 2.9% increase when compared with the 1,237 homicides that were recorded over the similar period last year. We now move on to a story from Trinidad and Tobago. Since the ABM task force was reintroduced by the TNT Police Service (TTPS) in September, 19 persons have appeared before the courts, including 18 non-nationals. ASP Curtis Julian of the Fraud Squad revealed this at the police press briefing as he gave tips to safeguard against ATM card skimming, especially during the Christmas and Carnival seasons. Julian said that for the first half of the year, 542 reports of ATM fraud has been reported in the Port of Spain area alone. He said the skimming is divided among 4 banks in Trinidad and Tobago, and there has been an increase in 3 of those banks between July and November. He said daily people, mostly non-nationals, are skimming ATMs across the country. According to Julian, from January to June 2019, the reports of ATM fraud divided among 4 banks: Scotia, RBC, Republic, and FCB. He said TNT is being targeted by non-nationals because this country is seen as having low security when it comes to banking. He advised the citizens to do physical checks, including tugging at the card slot, physically checking components on the ATM, and using another machine if there are no keypad guards. Skimming devices are usually attached during early mornings and late evenings, as there must be a free traffic flow for the skimmers to escape. They don't leave their devices in one location for longer than 24 hours. And finally, in Barbados. Barbados is moving ahead with advancing elements of the CARICOM single market and economy, including free access to public schools for CARICOM students. This means that all CARICOM nationals under the age of 16 who reside in Barbados will be afforded access to government nursery, primary, and secondary schools without being charged tuition fees. CARICOM students will not be required to have student visas, but they will pay all fees that are applicable to Barbadian students. This exception, however, does not extend to post-secondary, vocational, nor tertiary level education. In addition, CARICOM students will not qualify to be granted scholarships and exhibitions. At least one parent or legal guardian of the relevant child must be residing in Barbados under an approved immigration status in order to access the tuition-free provision now afforded to CARICOM nationals, namely the status of the citizen, permanent resident, immigrant, or reside and work. And that was all for tonight's regional news. Thanks for joining.